Lads.
So a 7 p.m. UK time kickoff for Everton versus Sheffield United. Most would probably refer to this as the Phil Jagielka derby, but at Fans React, in honor of our man Hal, we are calling this the Mitch Ward derby. Of course, Mitch Ward having turned out for both teams. All the talk leading up to the match really centered around two things. Number one, our injured striker, Ollie McBurney, proving that his foot maybe not as injured as we thought, as he took a couple kicks at a fan on the streets of North Yorkshire. So more Blades getting into the news for all the wrong reasons. The managerial search took a new twist as reports in the media say the Blades have finally interviewed Slavisa Jokanovic, he of the Fulham and Watford promotions, a man that fans have had their eye on because he's the man who got Fulham and Watford promoted, so he obviously knows his way around the Championship. Still nothing to report on that front, though. From a lineup perspective, nice to see Jack Robinson back. He's been out of the lineup for a long time. Comes back at a good time since Ethan Ampadu is hurt. And then Daniel Jebbison, fresh off his cameo as a sub, gets a start up front alongside David McGoldrick. And what a cameo, what a debut, I should say, for Jebbison it was. 7 minutes in, and he latches onto a great ball from Robinson. So the two guys that are back into the lineup are making it happen. Robinson, a nicely worked piece into the box, gets the cross, and there's Jebbison to poke it home for 1-0 Blades. And I tell you what, this is like going back in time. This is probably the first time all season I've enjoyed watching this club. We looked like the Blades of the last season in the Premier League, overlapping, getting down the wings, probing, asking questions of the opposition. And then when it came to Everton's chances, Aaron Ramsdale was really doing his best Dean Henderson impression. Absolutely fantastic saves. One from a long-range Alan strike, and then an amazing double save from, I believe, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, keeping it at 1-0 Blades going in to halftime. So lots to play for still. Everton looking to avoid tying their club record for 9 home defeats in a Premier League season. Blades have won 4 of our last 6 at Goodison, the most recent of which being that great 2-0 win last season. Own goal from Yerry Mina and then a great goal from Lys Mousset. Nowhere to be found in the squad today. Probably more to be said about Lys Mousset's future coming up as well. So lots to play for in the second half. But if United keep playing like this, I think we've got a chance of, really just getting a win that is good for confidence and it's good for momentum going into the eventual championship season. From a sentimentality point of view, would love to see Jags get a few minutes to say a goodbye to Goodison Park in what has to be his last trip back to Goodison in the Premier League. I don't see him being back in 2 years. So over to Robert to tell us how the second half went. I'm crossing my fingers that we'll double our lead here and get a nice, comfortable 2-0 victory against this Everton side. Up the Blades.
So coming out of the break, halftime, 1-0 lead for the Blades. Everton, Carlo Ancelotti feeling they need to make a slight change, go a little bit more attacking, bring on Sigurdsson for Mason Holgate. Not too much exciting in the first 10-15 minutes. The first real exciting thing, James Rodriguez, 2 needless tackles in about 2 minutes, draws a yellow card after he takes down Chris Basham. We had a couple really good opportunities. John Egan had a lovely header that just went over the bar, and then on the 77th minute, David McGoldrick just skied one right over. Probably our best chance of the second half, but with a 1-0 lead, you don't need too many chances, you need good defending, and that's what the Blades gave us. Nothing coming for Everton. 78th minute, they make 2 more changes, bringing on Bernard and Gomez off Rodriguez and Decore. The 81st minute, Baldock goes in for a tackle, gets a foul called, doesn't like it, screams at the ref, and gets a yellow card for dissent. And then the last 10 minutes after that, just stalwart defending, Trojan-like defending, as Hal said on the watch along. Just constant clearances of the ball, bringing it up a little bit when we can. Just really, really good. There was one on the 84th minute I particularly liked. It looked scary. Enda Stevens went in for a slide tackle, which is a little poor. He wasn't going to get the ball. But luckily, Egan got ahead to it, and then Baldock came right across the box and just cleared that thing with a brilliant header. And that's what we needed in this game. We didn't need another goal. We had the 1-0 lead, and it was great. Then 90th minute, Jack Robinson gets a yellow card for wasting time on a throw-in. You take those, okay? And then whistle blows, full time, another away win, a win at Everton, a great result for the Blades. Loved Jebison getting his goal. Everything about today was spectacular. So we're going to pass it over to Cameron and hear what those sweet, sweet player ratings are.
Oh, what a time to be a Blade. It's time to do the player ratings, and obviously we're going to start with the main man in the sticks, Aaron Ramsdale, and for me he's getting a 10 out of 10 for today's performance. Amazing first half, made some great saves from Jeremy Allen's strike, and then he made an amazing double save just after that from a Richarlison header. Dom Calvert-Lewin's had a strike on goal, and he's made a great double save. He claimed every corner. His distribution was amazing today. I've pulled him up on that a few times myself. But yeah, amazing game from Ramsdale, 10 out of 10 for me. Chris Basham, 8 out of 10. I thought Bash had a great game at the back. I thought all the players played well, obviously, today. Great result. But Basham, yeah, come back into the squad. I think it's his second game back from injury. Played really well. Did his job well. Was overlapping Baldock, which was nice to see. And it looked like the Basham Bower was back in play. John Egan, got to be 9 out of 10 for today's performance. Immense at the back again. Really managed the game well for the Blades at the back. I think he dealt with Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison really well. Made some great last-ditch blocks. Made some great headers from corners actually. Was winning a lot of headers in their box, which were causing them problems, and I thought he had a great game today. 9 out of 10 for me from Eags. Jack Robinson, back in the squad, and for me he's getting a 9 out of 10. Got the assist for the goal, made a great overlapping run, bit like O'Connell does, whipped in the ball, and yeah, what an assist, what a performance. To say he's come back from a long-term injury, it was a great performance from him, and yeah, gets a 9 out of 10 for me. George Baldock, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I thought he had a good game, back to his usual self, overlapping, going forward, great defensively. I just thought final third he could have done a bit better, but if that's just being a bit picky. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. He seemed a lot more calmer this week, not as aggressive as he usually is, flying into tackles and going crazy. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me, good performance from George. Enda Stevens is getting a 9 out of 10. What a performance from Enda. Back to his usual self, overlapping down that left-hand side with Robinson. Played really well, got in the final third a lot more than usual. Defensively, he was a lot better. And yeah, great performance by Enda. It looked like he was back to his former self again tonight. 9 out of 10 for me. Midfield, Ollie Norwood. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he had a really good game. Distributed the ball well. Defensively, didn't make any mistakes. Kept the ball well, really, kept it moving, and I thought Everton really sat off him, which gave him a lot more time to play them long balls, and obviously if you do that, you will get punished by Norwood. So for me, I'm giving him 8 out of 10. Solid game from him, much better this week. John Fleck, again, 8 out of 10 for me. Another solid game from Flecky. You know what you get with John Fleck. If it's a good performance, it's a good performance, and for me, he did what he needed to do. He didn't do anything outstanding out of this world, but it was a solid performance for a midfielder, and I think, yeah, 8 out of 10 for Norwood and Fleck this week. Ben Osborne, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. I thought he had a really good game. He's not the best footballer in the world on the ball, but off the ball he does so much running, which really helps the team. I thought he pressed really well, closed down really well, defensively was on point, worked well with Norwood and Fleck in the middle, and yeah, for me, Aussie, 9 out of 10 this week. Dizzy, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Had a great game, really pulled the strings, as we say, moving forward, but yeah, rather quiet I'd say this game. Didn't have loads of the ball, but when he did have it, he was really good with it. Played some beautiful stuff down the right hand side in the first half, taking out about 3 of the Everton's defenders, midfielders. So yeah, Didsy gets an 8 out of 10 from me, another brilliant performance. And it is Jebison. and it's got to be a 10. Man of the match for me. Debut goal, 17 years old. What a performance. For me, that's the best debut I've seen from a Sheffield United player in my lifetime. And it's from, in the Premier League, away at Goodison Park, gets your first Premier League goal. Outstanding performance. He ran the line so well, and I cannot wait to see what he's going to be like next season. And hopefully he can get a couple more goals before the end of the season. But that was an outstanding performance, and he should be really proud of himself. And what a performance by the Blades. Overall, got to be a 10 out of 10, hasn't it? What a win.
So, positive and negative time. Thought it was a lot of positives today. Thought it was a great performance. The only negative being that we weren't there to see it. That's the biggest takeaway, I think. The only negative that I'm going to draw on today, because I thought they were great, back to front. I thought the defence was so much better. They were stronger. They weren't giving away anything silly. They really kept it steady. Just really gave Everton feeding on scraps for the most part. Thought Jack Robinson had a big part to play in that. Thought he was a big positive. He really settled us down. He offered us something going forward. He meant we could go down the left wing as much as going down the right. Obviously for the goal, he's beat his man, whipped in a lovely ball. But more than that, I just thought we looked so much more secure. Whether it is his influence, whether it's just knowing that we've got a left-sided centre-half who can play there, it really seemed to work today. Thought the midfield were brilliant. I thought Osborne, obviously his energy, he makes such a difference. He's played really well the last few weeks, but today in particular I thought he really was a nuisance for them. Thought Norwood had one of his best games for a while. He was taking the ball, he was passing it on. Really thought he kept us ticking, and all of that midfield did a great job, just stopping Everton really building any attacks, really knowing when to sit back, when to press them, and when to really put forward. So I really thought they had a good game. McGoldrick, obviously that linker, it's just class. I think the commentators called him Zidane, and not that those commentators talk sense very often, but they were spot on when describing McGoldrick, because he is brilliant. Thought he had a great game. He came short, he linked the play. A few times he was boxed in, 2-3 men around him, he'd beat them, lay it off. Just exactly what we needed from him. A really great performance from a really great player. Obviously the other one, the big ones, Aaron Ramsdale. Since Christmas he has just been a completely different man. Fantastic performance again today. Makes a great save from Alan just after we've gone ahead, which is really important in that stage of the game in particular. But then his moment really does come when Richarlison's got the header. He's down low, makes a great save. He's then up quick, because it looked like Calvert-Lewin was just going to knock one in, easy finish. But it typified our game, because we weren't giving them anything. We were making them work hard, and we were keen to be on the ball. So he makes a fantastic second save, and it really did just show us that it was going to be our day. I thought it was a fantastic save and a great performance again from Ramsdale. But the main positive, the big man, Jefferson, what a day for him. I mean, imagine doing that on your first start at 17. You can only dream. I thought he made a big difference. I thought his movement was fantastic. He was willing to gamble to get those chances. It's how he scored his goal, and it's something we've missed. It's something Brewster doesn't do, and he almost had a second goal, obviously, with a great chance. So really exciting. Lots of things to look forward to. Big positive tonight. Come on, Blades. Get in. Good win.